Welcome to the IVM Podcast Network.
TFG Football is an IVM production, and you can also check out their other awesome shows like Drinks and Destination, a handy guide to the world of wine, spirits and more, along with a dip into travels around the world.
You're listening to TFG Football.
Hello folks, it feels weird to say today's Friday because there is no I-League weekend preview here. But it's not I-League anymore. It's over. But we have, not to worry, footballing action continues because we have Federation Cup that begins on Sunday. Yeah, 7th, that is 7th May. Yeah, I forgot which month it was on. I forgot which month was on. And joining me, you heard him, Kevin is joining me in the studio, Chiranjit as usual joining me over Skype. But before we enter talking about Federation Cup, let's take a minute, not a minute, probably a moment to congratulate the Indian football team for achieving a great feat. They've reached 100th ranking in the latest FIFA ranking, which is absolutely brilliant, at least in the era that I am in, following Indian football. Now, before I get Kevin into picture, Chiranjit, what do you have to say about this achievement?
Well, obviously it's nothing new. We saw the major jump last month when they came up to 101st, and now they have. It's just a continuation. Hopefully next month they will jump a couple of more places if we manage to do well. I think by July we should be in the top 100 if we do well in the matches that we have in June. So yeah, it's just the kamal of somebody finally working the FIFA ranking system for us, and Kushal Das and others at the top of AIFF who go out to these countries who work out, okay, this is the country we should play because this much ranking we can get out of it, and they go and set up those matches. And this has been ever since we that national shame occurred in 2015 when the Indian national team did not play for a long time, and our ranking just hit a ground bottom of 173. Yeah, since then I think finally the shame got to them. So they started doing things right and putting more effort behind it, and now we are doing this. And lastly, it's on the players that even if you set up a few good fixtures, which sets us up for maximum FIFA ranking points, they still have to go out there and deliver. They have to go out and win, and none of them have been that easy. Cambodia fixture troubled us. Even the match against Myanmar troubled us. The win against Puerto Rico was phenomenal. Yeah. So all of those things just lined up. And finally, we are enjoying something like this. We are on a path to improvement. I think just keeping going on like this, we may start dreaming of being in the top 80s. And once we have done that, that's when the real fight starts. That's when you have to really punch your way up, because this is still, you can manipulate a few rankings and go all the way up to a certain extent. But that's when the next level of opponents come into the picture, and I'm eagerly waiting for that.
Now, Kevin, before you put on your thoughts, I want to ask you. Now, India's best ranking till date has been 94. Now, Chiranjit also said that a real challenge will begin. There are chances that if we continue to do well, we will also break into top 80, where then the challenge actually begins. So, do you see India, if they continue their good run like they have been right now, so they'll, there will be another best ranking?
Of course, we are working towards that, and all the right steps have been taken. AIFF is doing its part towards setting up matches just before we actually play competitive games. So the next fixture will be played in June. So there's a competitive match that's the qualifiers for the 2019 AFC Cup.
In Mumbai.
Yeah. So it'll be great to just watch it in our hometowns
Yes,
and
Mumbai.
A lot more closer to the action like we had seen against Puerto Rico. So things have taken a plan. They've taken a shape. It's not a haphazard manner that it was earlier, and we see a lot of interest being taken by AFM, not just regarding the matches to be played, they're also taking care of the technical stuff, because we've seen a lot of changes in the back end as well. So there's a sports scientist that we talked about earlier, and these all things were not there, way before when we hit the bottom of the ranking that we've been watched. So these all things are working towards that aim, and the plan is, actually being fruitful.
Yeah. Well, let's see how fruitful and how the result turn up in the coming days, because that's when now it's
and this is where you need to remember. This is why we really need the merger this season, because every time we have seen how the national team's preparations got hampered because we had a private tournament running that did not have any international breaks. We went out and faced some really tough opponents away from home with like 2-3 days of preparation. If you have international breaks, you can have a friendly, you can have a week-long preparatory camp, and the result shows. Players are rested, they're better prepared, they have more time to focus on strategies and really work them out, and they don't go in under-prepared. That's the last thing we need. So please, no more conflicting schedules. We have matches lined up all the way till March 2018 of Asian Cup qualifiers. We have to play friendlies as well before each qualifier, and that's why we really need the merger, because we want everybody to be available and fit and well rested.
Absolutely.
We've seen what difference the national camp just before we went on to play that game against Cambodia and Myanmar. It makes a difference. So what is I-League? What is ISL? What is or the Federation Cup for if you don't send enough good quality players to the national team?
Yeah, absolutely. That's why we feed off the players. Now, kudos to the national football team. Hope this continues. We would love to see them really go up and up and up and not backwards. Now let's head on to the actual thing that's happening, going to start on Sunday, the Federation Cup kick-starting. So we have, just to brush around how things are, Group A is Aizawl FC, East Bengal, Churchill Brothers and Chennai City for you. Group B has Mohun Bagan, Bengaluru FC, Shillong Lajong and DSK Shivajin respectively. Now, before I get both of you, both Kevin and Chiranjit, into discussion, let me give some other statements as well. Now, the semi-finals will be played on the 14th of May. The final will be held on 18th or either 21st, depending on if Mohun Bagan or Bengaluru are in the finals, because this has been done so that they can play their AFC Cup match, which is on 17th. Now let's head on to the actual match. Okay, so Sunday games. Now there are 2 matches starting on 7th, as I mentioned, on Sunday. The first match that starts at 4 p.m, which is between East Bengal and Churchill Brothers. Now let's begin the discussion. The second match, of course, is Aizawl FC versus Chennai City at 7 p.m. But first, let's talk about Kingfisher East Bengal and Churchill Brothers FC. Now, Chiranjit.
Yes.
East Bengal have been, we did speak about them before those last 2 matches that they had in I-League. A lot of things were going behind, off the field, a lot of bad things, because once again they missed out on to win the I-League. The fans were not happy. Few players were attacked and players showed their reaction to that. A lot of ugly things. Coach left or sacked, whatever that was. Another coach came, and then again he was, after a day, he got injured. Then there was another replacement. Ranjan Chaudhary was the guy then appointed, but he did show really good. The team did show the morale that they were down, but they actually showed it on the field. They did win the last 2 games. Now that the last match that he played, before that match, just to rewind, he did say that this match for us will be a preparation for Fed Cup, and that's exactly what they did. 4-0 beating against Mumbai FC. So he was happy with the result. The players were happy. The team looks kind of okay right now. They are in the frame of playing. So Chiranjit, what does this match tell you? Because Churchill have beaten East Bengal in the I-League, and they are also pumped up. They were also fighting relegation, but here they are playing in Federation Cup, a team that's come up, after a very long time into the top division league, and now playing Federation Cup. What do you have to say about this opening fixture?
is going to be a replay of this famous, very hard-fought match that I remember from Siliguri. Happened back in 2012. It was a Federation Cup semi-final between Churchill brothers and East Bengal, and East Bengal won the game 1-0 in extra time, and it was. That was one of the matches where East Bengal actually did play their heart out and come out to winners against Churchill brothers, because since then Churchill brothers were kicking their ass before they got out of I-League. They beat Churchill brothers beat East Bengal, I think 3-0 in 2013, and again beat them 1-0 in 2014. They got beaten by East Bengal when they were not doing so well, but ever since Derek Pereira came back, they improved a lot.
Yeah.
And they just really came back into it and just went up the I-League table and beat East Bengal at their own home ground, at a time when East Bengal were still in the running for their title. So maybe East Bengal will go into it with that grudge, that just when it was looking like everything was falling into place for them to win the I-League, they came Churchill brothers and spoiled the whole party. So maybe they are looking for redemption, East Bengal, to just get the win and somehow make sure that they have something to show for this season, a national silverware. They desperately needed to turn the air around in the club. But also remember the position of Churchill brothers. Yeah. They're pumped up. They're doing much better under a new coach. The back four is not having problem as it was having at the start of the season. They're well prepared, and they are coming in for the first time since they won the Federation Cup and then got kicked out of the I-League.
Yeah.
There was all that super major embarrassing drama where Churchill brothers got kicked out of I-League when they still had the Federation Cup trophy with them, and they refused to send it back for the longest time. And there was a lot of back and forth and bickering between AIFF and Churchill brothers over that. So they, as far as they are concerned, they were denied an opportunity to defend their title, and they will treat this as an opportunity for that. Yeah. And just look at this group, the Group A. It's got Aizawl, the I-League national champions right now. It's got who else?
Chennai.
East Bengal is there. Chennai is there. Churchill brothers is there. So it's going to be. This is the toss-up group. It's going to be between Churchill, Aizawl, and East Bengal. Okay, Chennai City, I don't really think they can finish top two, but
they can be the spoilers. You never know.
Yeah. They will be the spoilers, and this is the beginning of that. This is one of the major toss-up games. It can go either way. You can never really be sure. East Bengal look like a stronger team on paper at the moment, but you can never know what Derek Pereira will, work out. Anyway, the last two results that came for East Bengal, they were not against really strong teams. They beat a Mumbai FC that had nothing to play for anymore.
Yeah.
They were relegated. They had no chance to make it to the Federation Cup. They knew they were playing the last game of the season. So all things considered, East Bengal have enough to fear from Churchill brothers.
Yeah. Also knowing that they've been defeated before in the I-League. I mean, this season itself.
and also knowing that probably later in the day, Aizawl FC will probably beat Chennai City, and that will leave them at the ditch. If they lose this match, both teams will at least want to get a draw here just to stay in contention, because this is one of the 6-pointer games, and if they lose this, whoever loses this will be at a major risk of not making it to the semi-finals.
Yeah. Kevin, what do you have to say about this? A really, mouth-watering game, the first match to kickstart the Federation Cup.
I have a feeling that Churchill look much more stronger than East Bengal, given the fact that East Bengal, they do have that end result that they can say that we are pumped up. But Churchill is not a team which really goes down by even taking a big loss against them. So they lost the last game against Bengaluru. It was a thrashing. But
before that they thrashed.
Yes. So this is a team that really energizes itself before playing a game, and they do not let go till the final whistle. We've seen them fight, and they are capable of that under Derek Pereira. East Bengal, to some extent, I feel they've lost the Morgan touch with them, and this team is not as strong as they were at the first half of the season of I-League. So for me, in this game, it's Churchill who are going to take it to East Bengal, and you never know that Churchill might end up being the toppers of this group.
Yeah, yeah, that's a great finding. Now, if I had to ask you to predict scores, Kevin, East Bengal versus Churchill Brothers.
It's going to be a tight game because Churchill are known as fighters.
Yes,
they do not give up so easily. So even if I expect a 1-0 lead taken by East Bengal in the first half, I will see a 1 or a 2-1 in Churchill's favour. Okay. It's not going to be that easy to predict this game because both teams are good, but I have an edge towards Churchill over here.
Okay, Chiranjeev, do you agree to that?
Give me a 2-2. I just want these guys to have a draw, and maybe because I want Aizawl FC to get a head start in the group, because we have seen how tough it is for some clubs to maintain that momentum. Just securing draws and getting enough points. This is a cup game. This is something entirely different.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're not riding any momentum here coming into this fixture. Aizawl FC. So, yeah, I would feel more comfortable if they have a head start in the first round because I want to see Mohun Bagan versus Aizawl FC semi-final. Okay, and I want to see Mohun Bagan thrash Aizawl FC and make it a replay of that last, final match between,
that's all remaining.
Yeah. That's all remaining. And maybe a Kolkata derby.
Okay.
In the final, we'll see how that plays out. So we really need a flourish from this Federation Cup. This may be the last Federation Cup. So I'm already thinking on those terms.
Now, let's move on to the other match. That's Aizawl versus Chennai. That starts at 7 p.m. So Kevin, let me start with you now. Aizawl, the champions of India for this time, the I-League champions. For the first time they've won. And now they're starting a new campaign, Federation Cup. They're the runners-up of Federation Cup. Okay. And now they're playing a new team that's playing for the first time in the Federation Cup, Chennai City FC. Are you still sticking to the Chennai City philosophy that they're the first half team?
Chennai City do not have any chance over here. I'm talking about the Federation Cup. It's an experience, it's a learning tournament for them. Good that they made it through. They were the last place team in this Federation Cup, that 8th rank. So I really do not have too many hopes that they would outperform many teams over here in this group especially. Because even if you look at Churchill, who are just say on the 6th position in this group, that's the lowest in the group A. So competing, having Chennai City play against Churchill also, it might not be the easiest competition for Chennai City. But they are up against Aizawl. Aizawl, with all the limelight, with all the spotlight, everybody's focused on that team. So they have the fan support. They have everything that's needed for them to be pumped up.
Do you also think they will also have the added pressure to keep up that momentum?
The pressure is there because they're the runner-ups for this season. So that pressure is there. They don't want to give it up so easily, having that I-League in their bag already. So this is not about a pressure game. It's about keeping that drive that they had to win the I-League. If they can keep the momentum going in the Federation Cup. So all the cards are wiped off. No suspensions. Everybody comes in clean. It's a total it's a new beginning for all clubs. So in this game, what I would expect is it's an alternate game for each team. Alternate day. So you play on Sunday, then again you play on Tuesday. So it's going to be a squad rotation heavy on every team that's playing over here.
Yeah.
So again we'll have excuses that that was fatigue that was hitting us. We had a couple of key players injured. So that's all is going to come in play. So Chennai City have some way coming in with less pressure than Aizawl in this game.
Yeah. Well, are you on the same line, Chiranjeev? Because do you think Chennai will play a much more free game than as compared to Aizawl?
Yeah, because one major point that Kevin raised, it's that the fixtures are so thick, and you also have to take into account the weather in Cuttack.
Yeah.
It's like the exact polar opposite of the weather it is like in Aizawl. Okay, and Aizawl rode their home form to an I-League triumph. And what is their strength? Their strength is those short passes, dominating the midfield, outrunning the opponent teams, using their experience in the altitude to really outwork the other team, because every other team gets slowed down in that ground in Rajiv Gandhi Stadium. Here they go down to this thing. It's Cuttack. It's a river town. It's in Odisha. It's warm. It's humid as anything. Okay, it's a disgusting weather out there. Right now today I think it's 41, 42. It's going to be like that. Unless it rains, people are going to have a hard time, and it's going to make all teams suffer. Okay, nobody wants to even play a single one game in May in Cuttack, and they're being made to play like every other day.
Yeah.
So just expect a lot of fatigue here. And the fact that most of the Mizo players in Aizawl FC have never experienced these conditions. Okay, it's similar to Goa, the kind of humidity, but it's worse because there's no sea nearby. Okay, it's much worse. It will make you run out of breath and sweat like crazy. So Aizawl FC's game should be to preserve themselves, which is why they will want Chennai City game to be won like that. They want to play it light, win 1-0, just wrap it up, get 3 points in the bag, and prepare for the next two games, because those will be the biggies. But again, since the matches against East Bengal and Churchill Brothers, and I think Churchill Brothers will have some advantage because they have experienced this kind of weather more than anybody else in the tournament. So when you are playing them, there is a good chance you will drop points, especially for Aizawl FC here.
Yeah.
Okay, so if that is the case, then the conundrum is that they have to go all out to get 3 points against Chennai City. They cannot afford to lose points here. So do they go all out? Do they run their hardest? And if they do that, will they be fit enough to take on two more matches against two very strong teams?
Yeah.
And even if they get through that, what shape they will be in the semi-finals?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so all of those things will come into play. All those equations will have to be worked out. It's a terrible situation for the players to be in. I don't know why they changed that format, because it was so good last season.
Yeah, the home and away format, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Home and away knockout. You just play, the number of matches are less, and you really it would take less time for them to do also.
Yeah.
But you have taken them to a terrible place and put them there, and they are doing all this, playing every other day. The number of matches are higher. What, you're just trying to run them to the ground punishing them for being a Federation Cup or something? It's a ridiculously configured tournament, and I don't even know how much enthusiasm it will get from the local population, because Mohun Bagan fans are morale down. East Bengal fans are down in morale. There's not really any other club that will see much support out there in Cuttack unless some fans travel. So hopefully some Shillong, Aizawl and Bengaluru fans will travel. Nobody else will see much support for them. So they've just set this up for a bad show. It seems like the same kind of treatment I-League used to get back in the day.
Now, before Kevin makes a point, I want to ask you, the weather conditions you mentioned, that Chiranjit, are there any likely possible that rains might also be there?
Well, I haven't seen any forecasts of rains, but I'm in Purulia right now. I had a chance to travel to Cuttack. I was like, no thanks. I don't want to torture myself like that. So it was. I'm some 5-6 hours or say 8 hours away from it, and from what I'm looking, it's that the next 3-4 days at least have no chances of rains in this part of the country.
Okay.
So let's just say we may have some rain before semi-finals, because the humidity is rising all over Bengal and Odisha, and the air is going more still. So maybe rain in a week, I hope.
Yeah, Kevin, your point, and then also give you the prediction of scores.
So this one reason that Aizawl have made it past so many teams. One important reason was the fitness, and they were away from injuries. I do not remember the last time they had complained about a player or any, not a key player or any Aizawl player that suffered an injury that kept him out for a long time. So that is the strength that they were able to pass that test of fitness.
And this will be a challenge now.
And that is on stake over here. That will be on the line.
Absolutely. Well, now give me your scores, prediction.
It's going to be easy for Aizawl, but Chennai City,
first half
if they can just manage two goals and keep up that clean sheet, it's looking like an Aizawl game totally. It's either 1-0 or 2-0.
Okay, Chiranjeev, same prediction of scores?
2-1.
Okay.
And I want to take 2-1 to Aizawl, and I want to take up Kevin's point that he made about there being less injuries. Now, a major part of that is that so many of their players did not play in Aizawl.
Yeah.
Okay, and they came in fitter than I think any other side. I think only Shillong Lajong had a comparable fitness, but even Shillong Lajong players were, most of them were playing in some ISL team, while Aizawl FC players were more fresh than anybody else. So yeah, maybe this will be their test in their most uncomfortable place as a competitive team than they have ever seen before.
Yeah. Now that brings us to the end of the show, and that was the first day fixtures. It's a daily, as I mentioned earlier, it's an everyday game. So there'll be matches on Monday, Tuesday, and henceforth. Now we are also daily show, so we'll bring you everyday previews, reviews, and whatever updates that you want to know, and also with some other stuff that keeps happening in Indian football. Now today's Friday. That means it's the weekend. We don't come tomorrow, so we really see you. You really hear us now on Monday next. We will get you all the reviews about the matches and then the Monday fixtures. Now that's all, folks. If you're listening to our show on YouTube, hit the like, share, subscribe to our channel, hit the bell icon so you get updates of our new episode. You can also listen to our show on Audioboom, SoundCloud, iTunes, and various other podcasting apps. You can also talk to us directly on Twitter, Boza_Kevin, Chiranjeev Toja, Suju Matthew 94. Also you can download the IVM podcast app on Android and iOS. Read up all these stories, the Radio Federation Cup and other stories on our website, thefangarage.com. Also, a special shout out that Chiranjeev has put down in words whatever he witnessed and in Aizawl, the whole history of Aizawl going and taking up this cup, the match against Mohun Bagan, and then of course the first part is out there. Beautiful read. Since I was also there, I could, sense every word because I relived those words again because, I was going back to the visuals that I had in Aizawl. So it was a beautiful read. So do read it. It's up on our website, thefangarage.com. Have a great day, folks. Enjoy the weekend. Enjoy the match on Sunday and come back to us on Monday. Have a great day. Thank you. Cheers.
एक्सक्यूज मी भैया, एक्सक्यूज मी.
बोलिए मैडम.
मेन्यू में क्या है?
मेन्यू में सीन अनसीन है, पॉडकास्ट है, ऑन कोर्स है, साइरस है, मेड इन इंडिया, रीडिस्कवरी प्रोजेक्ट, एम्पावरिंग सीरीज, सेक्स वैक्स है, IVM लाइक्स है, सिंप्लीफाइड है, कीपिंग इट क्वियर है, ड्रिंक्स एंड डेस्टिनेशंस है, माय नेबर जकरबर्ग है और द फैन गराज है. आपको क्या चाहिए?
एक बार रिपीट कर देंगे क्या?
रिपीट नहीं करता हम. आप जाओ IVMpodcast.com पे और सुनो ये सब, या फिर डाउनलोड करो उनका ऐप. सब आपकी उंगलियों पे.